Hello all, you are welcome to Study Right Hub channel. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like and share our videos. In my previous video presentation, I talked about the project screening and selection model. We talked about two of them, the checklist model and the simplified model. In this video presentation, I will talk about two additional models that project managers use to select projects. And the first that I will talk about is the profile model. The profile model offers another way of evaluating screening and selection projects. And with this model, it allows managers to plot risk and return options for the various project alternatives, and then they select the project that maximizes the return. So selection of the project is based on a project that maximizes return while maintaining minimum and acceptable risks. The risk used here is subjective, or the risk assessment is subjective because it may be difficult to reach overall agreements on the level of risk that is more accepted regarding the particular project. Let us take a typical look at an example of the profile model. We could see that the potential return has been plotted on the x-axis, whilst the risks or the perceived risks has been plotted on the y-axis. From the chart, we could see that project x2 and x3 yield the same or similar return. However, the risks associated with project x2 is higher as compared to project x3. So in this case, we can see that project x3 is more desirable. What do you also observe from project x4 and project x5? You can see that the perceived risk of project 4 and project 5 is the same. However, the return for project 5 is higher than project 4. So it is more viable to go for project 5 and reject project 4. We can see that project 6 gives the highest return. However, it is associated with high potential risk of that project. From the chart, you can see that there is efficient frontier. What is the efficient frontier? In project management, the efficient frontier is a set of project portfolio options that offers either a maximum return for every given level of risk or the minimum level of risk for every level of return. So you could see that it is drawn from project 6, project 5, project 3, and project 1. So that lies the efficient frontier. So every project on that frontier can be selected. Yes, they are all desired. However, project 2 and project 4 is not desired because they can give her the same return as project x2 can give her the same return as project x3 does. but the risk associated with the X2 is higher. And the risk for project 4 and project 5 is the same, but the return for project 4 is lesser than project 5. And since the objective is to select a project with higher return or to maximize return, you go for project 5. So project 2 and 4 will not be selected. The next model we want to talk about is the financial model. Yes, project managers also rely on financial analysis in order to choose from a quiet number of projects. So the financial models rely on financial analysis in order to make project selection decisions. And the financial models that are commonly used is the net present value, the payback period, the internal rate of return, the discounted payback period, and other financial tools or models that are also available. In fact, the financial models are based on the time value of money principle. The time value of money principle. What does it mean? What it means is that the time value of money principle just suggests that money earned today is worth more than money we expect to earn tomorrow. Money earned today worth more than money we expect to earn tomorrow. In other words, $1 today is higher than $1 tomorrow, or a cedi today is more than a cedi tomorrow. Why do we say that? Because of the fluctuations of the exchange rate, the inflation, and other economic variables that fluctuate. This causes the changes in the value of money. So the payback period, the net present value, internal rate of return, discounted payback period, they all rely on the time value of money principle. And what did we say the time value of money principle mean? In simple words, it simply means that $1 today worth more than $1 tomorrow. Let's take a brief look at each of the financial models that are commonly used. So let's start with the payback period. The payback period in project management, we are talking about the amount of time that would be necessary or that would be needed in order to recoup the investment in a project. So how long will it take for the project to pay back its initial investment and even to begin a positive cash flow for the company? That is basically about the payback period, how long it would take for the project to recoup or for the company to recoup its investment in the project, and then the project to even start giving positive monies to the company. Also, we can talk about the net present value. In fact, the net present value is the most popular financial decision making tool for project management or for project managers. So what it means is that the monies you earn tomorrow, you calculate based on the exchange rates, inflation rate, you calculate and bring it to today's value. So if it is $1 today and then you are receiving $1 tomorrow, how much does the $1 you are receiving tomorrow worth today? So you bring that future value into present value, and then afterwards you compare the initial investment amount with the total present value. So if the net present value is higher or is positive, that means the project is viable. So the net present value simply means that you will subtract the investment outlay or the investment amount from the total earning, the present value of the income. And when it is higher or when it is positive, that means the project is viable. And if it is negative, that means that the investment that you earn or the project will bring, the return that the project will bring, it is less than the amount that you are spending into the project. So that's what the negative figure represents. So it is advisable not to enter into that project. However, when you calculate your net present value for different project portfolios and more than one has positive net present value or the NPV, you pick the project with the higher NPV. Please take note, you pick the project with the higher NPV when both are positive. When one project is negative and one project is positive, you pick the project or you select the project with positive NPV. Okay, and we also have the internal rate of return. That is another alternative method of evaluating the expected outlay and the income associated with the project investments. So the internal rate of return asks the simple question, and that is, what rate of return will the project earn? What rate of return will the project earn? So with all these analysis, it will help the project manager to determine which of the projects is more viable to be selected. Thank you for watching our video. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share our videos.